up? Today I'm speaking with a very good friend of mine, Iman, but you might know her as the Poet Iman. Iman, welcome.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Very good. We've been friends for a good couple of years, but today we're going to be talking about your poetry page. So, how did you actually come up with the name, the Poet Iman?
I actually wanted, because initially I had an anonymous page, I wanted my name to be a part of this because I decided, if I'm going to put it out there, I want people to know that I wrote this. So I knew that I wanted my name in there. And then I thought, how am I going to build like a brand? How am I going to get followers at some point in time? And I wanted to do Iman the Poet, and that was actually taken already on Instagram. So that's why I made it the Poet Iman. And I find Instagram is a really great platform because it's very interactive. And I love a good aesthetic. I think in that sense, I'm an artist deep down.
Do you have any literacy background?
Yes and no. So my mom is actually a journalist. So I have that sort of writing background, and there's definitely a lot of English teachers in the family. And then on the opposite side, actually, a cousin of my dad is a published author.
Okay.
So not directly, but kind of. Not specifically a poetry background, but that is me.
So obviously that's been in your childhood. Do you have any inspirations from a poetry point of view?
From a poetry point of view, not really, but from a writing point of view, I guess everything inspires me. So yes.
And do you have any favorite poets?
It's a very good question. I don't have a favorite poet to put to a particular poem, but I like Pablo Neruda, and I really like Khalil Gibran.
So you've been doing this for quite a long time. But when exactly did you start?
I think I've always been writing. Actually, because we're moving house, I found some of my old journals and diaries, and I've seen that I've been writing for a very long time. A little bit of shocking stuff, but seriously, I think I started to take myself and my writing a bit more seriously when I was in high school,
Okay.
maybe towards the end of high school, and since then I've been writing more.
So would you say you find it simple to actually write about something?
I wouldn't say simple, but I would definitely say I'm lucky in the sense that I have a knack with words.
And what would you describe as your method of getting you to write a piece?
I don't really have a particular method. Inspiration can strike at any time. Those that were at campus with me, like yourself, will know I can sit in a lecture and be looking like I'm taking the most studious notes, but I'll be writing something completely different. So I don't really have a set time or structure when I write, but sometimes I have to get the whole piece done at one time. So it doesn't matter where I am, I can completely zone out until that particular thing is finished.
So with the pieces that you've created already, did you do any research on them or did they just come from within?
Because I started writing as more of a personal experience to sort of validate my feelings and such, I didn't really need research for that. But as I've grown as a writer and I've put my voice on sort of a larger platform, I'm starting to comment on more social things, I do a lot of research, yes.
And because they're such in-depth topics, do you share them with anybody else before you publish them?
Yes, I do. One specific person is my second pair of eyes. I would say editor, not co-writer, but it depends. If you catch them, you can ask them.
And being a lawyer, how do you manage such a tough position and take a step back and say, okay, let me write something with a little bit more depth and a little bit more meaning?
I think because I've always written as a means of personal expression, I find it very therapeutic. So it's not too hard to do that. In fact, I think it helps me sort of stay clear of the legal environment and just have some time for myself. So it's not too much of an issue.
So you would say you could talk about, things that are going on in the generation, things that are going on in the news, with feminism and xenophobia, things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. And what is your way of just relaxing and just to, just stop thinking about anything else, shut off the world and say, right.
Apart from writing.
Yes.
I love meeting friends. I love being out, interacting with new people. And I think what's really great about that is the more you put yourself into the world, there's more sort of avenues to draw inspiration from. So I love being out. I love listening to music. I really enjoy reading. Especially because you can always see how somebody else has crafted their words, and I think it shapes you as a writer.
So, with regards to the reading, what book are you reading at the moment?
At the moment, I'm reading Norwegian Wood by Murakami. But I'm only on chapter 3, so I'll let you know how that's going.
And with regards to the exhibitions, when was your first exhibition?
My first exhibition was in August of 2018, and it was with Community ZA for Women's Day. It was a collective called The Woman, and the piece that I entered there was also called.
Can you describe the experience of that exhibition?
It was quite an interesting experience because I was still at campus at the time. So I was trying to balance campus and then trying to be available for the exhibition. And at that point in time, I was at UKZN and I had law tests every Friday and the exhibition was the Thursday night. So I was sort of thinking to myself, how am I going to balance this? Because I can submit the piece, but maybe I won't be able to actually be at the exhibition. And I think I learned that sort of sacrifice. So I wasn't at the exhibition, but my piece was showing and I went to see it the following week. And what was really cool was because I've entered subsequent exhibitions, to see the same poets and artists creating more, you sort of develop a relationship with them, and that's really cool because I sort of started off as like a nobody in the industry. In fact, I still think I'm a nobody. I'm building slowly. But from the first experience to where I am now, it's definitely cool because you see creative people come together and they're always ready to read your stuff, give you their feedback and opinions, and you sort of grow in that community and environment. So I'm really enjoying it.
And lastly, can you give any advice to someone who wants to start writing?
Write, and keep writing, and also have a good editor or read your work before you put your work out there. And I think my legal background has sort of helped with that because the minute you put something out there, it's automatically coming back to your name, and plagiarism is real. I think people don't, like when you do something in a creative field, you think yours is the best and supremely wonderful, but plagiarism is real, and to be exposed to more work that's out there, you kind of safeguard yourself from that. But I think more important than all of that technical stuff would definitely be to take that first step. That is always the most difficult. Write something, and the more you write, the better of a writer you become.
So there you have it, guys, a more in-depth look at the life of a poet. Iman, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I look forward to being back.
No, definitely. Remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Cheers, guys.
Bye.